Bakışta 7 olsun. Want ik moet slaan. Should have taken. That's stupid. Without thinking. Or in the rebound. Oh, that's very welcome. Oh shit. slow, slow, slow. Yo, Soup, what's up? Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Well, it's really early morning here, as in like, it's 8 a.m. basically, so don't expect any quality stuff. Right. If you want to win a bullet match now, I would suggest this is the time, basically. Without cheating, you know. You weren't expecting quality either way. It's a fair assessment. These days, there hasn't been much quality indeed. No, games have been bad. Although, look, I'm winning in this position now, basically. But I still managed to lose them. That's a bit of an issue. Okay, this should be like completely winning to me. You know, objectively spoken and blah blah blah. You know. 15 plus 10, yeah. All right, good luck. I never play Rapid these days. I don't know. I'm kind of warming up still, because I think if I play Rapid now, I'm not gonna blunder like on average like 5 pieces. You know, 5 pieces per game. Don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Yeah, E5 is generally spoken pretty good. There's nothing wrong with E5. Is there really almost literally is literally nothing wrong with it. So it's a good move. It's a good move. We can do one Rapid game after this one though, okay? Let me just I already ruled my winning position, so you know we're getting that far. I should still be completely winning though, to be very honest. Yes. E5 has a lot of stuff. In the beginning, you're just gonna, you know, but that's with every new opening. In the beginning, you're gonna suffer. It doesn't matter, you know, if tomorrow you decide to play the Oljechin or the, I don't know, some other variation of the Sicilian. You know, first 10 games are going to, you know, are gonna be suffering. It's life, you know, chess life, so to say. The Caro has all kinds of sides. It can be super solid, but it can also be extremely aggressive, basically. Some lines. One second. to the easy way. Yeah, easy one, easy one. King G6 was also one. And black resigns, basically. Oh. Okay. Free movement on chess.com is ridiculous. All right, you can challenge me. I don't really get chess.com, man. I don't like it either, but it's okay. I'm more of a lead chess player, but my chess.com ratings are really a bit low. 21.4 is, you know. But I'm also playing bad, so I'm not saying too much. You know. All right. Show me your e5 then. All right, I won't be saying too much anyway. It's kind of. That was that. But let's keep it quiet. Alright, so this is rapid, huh? We've got like plenty of time. So Voluntarily. It's a move. It's a move. I'm not sure if it's a good move. It's most definitely a move. Should slow down a bit. You know, got plenty of times. Bishop D7. Yeah, now I'm not entirely sure how to take back though, to be very honest. I think I'll do it like this. Completely missed it. I didn't look at many moves either, by the way. I, can't claim that I was working very hard. Still, it's most definitely a move. The white also has to be a bit careful. However, a move like rook e4 might be fairly annoying. Should we just play it without too much calculation? We have to develop this rook at some point. Not doing too much. Might be for maybe, yeah. It's a bit weird, but it wasn't fair. I doubt in that particular position it wasn't the strongest move, though. The point is that what I played is not good for white. It actually needs to be a little bit playing for tricks. But okay, they're not easy. Alright, now I would think I have an advantage here, but it's by no means game over level type of advantage. But okay, so let's start. One moment. One moment. I could have won a piece. No, queen f4. Okay, luckily. Okay, so bishop f4, queen d7. Okay, so bishop f4, queen f4 is not a move. So bishop f4, gf4 is the only move. And it looks suspicious, no? Unless it's good, right? And then just rook e1. He moves the... Yeah, the queen somewhere. He has no attack roll whatsoever. I think I'm gonna go for some simple stuff. So we'll take. He takes with the G pawn. We just develop the rook to the E file, and we claim that we got some advantage or something. Can also take on B4 actually. That's a pawn. I mean, it might be a worthy pawn. You know. Could also just go knight e2 and pick up f4. Then rook e8. Knight f4, rook e4, queen e4. And bishop e4. So there are many things that can happen here. I'm obviously a bit out of it. But I think that I can't be much wrong. It's just for general reasons. Bishop c6. Yo, German guy, what's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. I'm playing a soup sailor at the moment. Early morning chess here. I hope you enjoy it. You're having a good day. It should be better here, but it, you know, nothing decided yet. Far from. Yeah, sure, we can teach you, no problem. We can teach you how to play. We can teach you how to play. This bishop c6 is a tricky move though. One moment there. Yeah, sure. Tell us your problem. Tell us your woes, and we'll try to help you with it. You know. Is my mic bad? Is it really not very good? One moment. Is it like bad? One second. Oh, very loud. Okay, that can be fixed easily. Is it better now? Or is it still too loud? So we got some tricks here with rook h5 or maybe bishop h7 first. Bishop h7, queen h7, rook g5. So it's just sacrifice in exchange, and this one is hanging, but not really. But black is in trouble, I think. This king is not good. Simple moves like rook h5 are surprisingly hard to face. Even f6, rook h5, like queen's the queen. Yeah, please, if there is anything wrong with the audio, just let me know straight away. Okay, so we can go bishop h7. The problem is he goes king h8. Okay, but then we return. Yeah, seems good. So after king g7, there's rook g5, winning the queen on f6. And after king h8, there is nothing direct. And after this, there is rook h5. And after king g7, there is again rook g5. And after king g6, there is rook h6. All win the queen on f6. And we should be winning. So here, rook g5 ends the game. And this should be, yeah, about resigning, close to resigning basically. Because he's essentially gonna get checkmated as well. Alright, so good game soup. Good game soup. Let's do some analysis. Alright, let's have a brief look. I'm not a member or anything, so you know. Yeah. So I didn't play the opening very challenging. Is my mic okay, by the way? Is it better now? I'll just talk, and if there is anything, just tell me. So, the game itself, yeah, so I didn't play it very challenging, but it's tricky. So, okay, so this is all mainline. Here normally you play b5. That's essentially your only move. And why that is because if you castle, actually here, as the computer gives, actually I can win a pawn. So, and it's an important pawn. Like, there are some sidelines and stuff. Here. Yeah, and here you have to play b5 first. Yeah, so you probably have to go for the martial attack. So okay, the martial attack mainline. Yeah, exactly. c3. Okay, so here castles c3 and then d. This is the martial attack. People avoid it a lot. Yeah, you have to play the b5. It will become second nature soon enough. You'll make this mistake one more time and then never again, basically. How it works. Or maybe never, even now, never again. Yeah, but here, so white takes a free pawn, which is really a free pawn. Okay, but I didn't take it. I just played quietly, right? So c3, b5, right? Oh, here d5, right? Yeah, now I played for some anti-martial kind of thing. This is not supposed to be very good in this order. The engine really wants to take the pawn in this version. And bishop d6, d4. Actually, in this version, this is probably pretty good for white, by the way. If you compare it to the main lines. I'm not sure how good, but it looks like an improved version. But I went for simple stuff. Developing and so I think the next few moves. Yeah, the plan with f5 is probably a bit more aggressive. It's also a bit more tricky. Combination with a4. How you played it? So knight f4, knight f1. Let's go quickly to the. So yeah, I was saying during the game, like, okay. So first of all, bishop f4 is a normal move to get a pawn majority here in the center. You know, and get pieces out. White has good activity. But secondly, to put it very bluntly, b4 might be a bit premature, so to say. Right now, it's not doing much. F5 is a big idea in this particular type of martial. But what I played now, you will figure out not many play it like this. This is kind of a blitz system now. It's b4 is a bit, practically spoken. For example, the engine gives, I don't know, just play a normal move, right? Okay, queen f6 it gives. Looks very normal. Okay, and generally spoken, after a4, and here you decide whether you are willing to let this happen or you play b4. This is how it normally happens. It saves some time. You spend the full move on d4 here, and I'm not entirely sure what you're achieving. Yeah. Yeah, this is very different from usual, you know, from what you're normally playing, basically. But it's good to switch up things, and, you know, to learn new openings and stuff. Okay, so yeah, now it's about time to, you know, get rid of some of these pieces. So my position looks passive, but it doesn't have weaknesses, and black has no attack. Stockfish gives +1 or something. I mean, this stockfish you shouldn't take too seriously, right? It's one of the reasons why just how come you shouldn't take too seriously. It's first of all stockfish 11, right? We're at 16 now. Second of all, it's kept at depth 20. Depth 20 is like, it's ridiculous, basically. There we go. So, okay, bishop d7. Now start playing. Yeah, 16, right? 94. I completely messed up my computer, so I have to set some things up again. But later on, I'll do. Yeah, here white just has easy play. You know? These pieces are all very active. The queen has potential to be active. Just a rook on a1 is dead, right? Black has also good pieces. These three are pretty good. Queen has potential. The rooks are still out there. So it's far from over, really. But black has to be a bit careful. Okay, so takes. Queen h4. Queen h4 is tricky. I mean, it's a self-pin in the end. So I was quite happy with it. Okay, it said that there is an even better move. I thought rook e4 was pretty good, but actually stockfish gives bishop f5. And then what? Oh. Yeah, Mr. Stockfish, I understand. This is not how I play it. Rook e4 is far more human, in my humble opinion. But instead of queen h4, what could you have played here, for example? Ah, 96. It does give queen h4 as the strongest move, actually. I have to say 96 also makes sense. Just to keep things compact. But white has an initiative. A big one. It's obvious that, you know, things might happen at some point. Knight c2. I don't think so. Let's have a look. So queen h4, right? So black played queen h4 here. Okay, I played rook e4, right? I didn't really know how you should react to it. Yeah, rook e8, that's what I thought. Let's quickly go, and then I intended to play bishop f4, rook f4. Okay? So yeah, this is quite drawish actually. Yeah, I expected something like this to sack the rook. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, this. But here, okay, so bishop f4, you have queen d7, right? But there is rook e1, king h2. And c1 is hanging. So there is this, and you're an exchange up. So rook e4, yeah, rook e8 was probably... I mean, I'm not sure how to look at the evaluation, but at the very least, you're not lost at all or something, or gonna lose material. You have resources, right? I mean, your pieces are all doing stuff. They're a little bit awkwardly placed, you know, but so is my rook on a1. It's not out of the woods, basically. So I would evaluate it as white better, but you know, game is really not over at all, basically. That would be my evaluation. I'm not a grandmaster with you know, 2780, you know. But you know, I mean, okay, so yeah, so g5 is actually a very normal move in the Marshall. So here, g5. But in this case, because of all the pins and stuff, it really, sometimes it's a good aggressive move, and sometimes it just weakens your king. I think in this case, it just weakens your king. That is the main point. In the end, what happened was that, you know, you lost material because the king was too weak, right? G5. So g5 is probably really not good. It already gives +4 after queen f6. Which I did look at briefly, but yeah, so bishop f4, my bishop f4 was not good. Engines come up with all kinds of beautiful stuff again, you know. And then back, yeah. It is winning. Nice engine line. G5 is really very, very last resort in this case, because these bishops are strong. There are literally 5 pieces in the attack. That hasn't started yet. It has potential. Okay, and I didn't play the strongest move here by far. So I'm not... G5. Where is G5? Okay. Bishop f4. G4. I just thought white's better here. And rook e1. That's a blunder. Whoa, why is that a blunder? Oh, rook e1. But why is rook e1 a blunder? 6. These engine lines are strange. You shouldn't really follow them. They switch around all the time. Well, okay, obviously this is not +5. Black is very much in the game. And it gives rook E1. That's much stronger. E8. Here again, white is better, but you can play bunch of weaknesses though. It's not easy. Rook d6 to protect knight f6. You have to do a bunch of very, of good defensive moves. And then you might be able to save it. So rook e1 is very natural. Bishop c6, yeah, okay. Bishop c6 is probably the decisive mistake, I think. Oh, well, he didn't like my rook e5. Okay, bishop e5, rook e5. I thought white's much better here, but okay, d8. Oh, that kind of spoils it. Okay, d8. Queen c4. Yeah, okay, whatever happens, like. Okay. White has good compensation. Black is in, Black is in trouble. Again, the game is far from over, but it's, you can see at the evaluations. But essentially, Black's making almost only moves. It has been for a while now. Yeah, okay. Queen f6 is a blunder that I was explaining already. So there's bishop h7. Okay, you took. The point is after king h8, I just intended to go back. Yeah, exactly. And there is this threat of rook h5. And after king g8, it gives knight h5. But yeah. Oh wow. But now the king is completely open. You can clearly see why g5 can be dangerous. White's an exchange down, but these are going to checkmate essentially, or win a queen or something. So, yeah, but king h7 is just tactically. So bishop h7 is technically not okay. Check. So after king g6, there's rook h6. Okay, it's checkmate, but the main point is that you win a queen. So there's this. And in the game, it was... Yeah, king g7, okay, and then rook g5. Ah, no, it just becomes weird, man. Bishop h7 is like the only move that you look at in the position. Don't bother with the blunders, the next best moves, and the brilliant moves, and that is to to give the folk a dopamine rush. Make them keep on playing. No, this is the game itself was interesting. It was only 25 moves. I think you were under pressure, to be very honest, from the very beginning. And the part in the middle is just very complicated. Yeah, but it's, in all honesty, it's the only move. There is this battery, right? The queen is unprotected. And then the next move actually comes automatically. Because any check and the queen will fall, right? So this is not really not a brilliant move. It's almost like a standard move, right? To be very honest. What do you feel? But it was an interesting game. So the point is, okay, if you are learning the Re-Lopez. So, okay, what position? In this position? Or instead of bishop h7? And g5 and g5 is ouch, and white resigns in this position. That's okay, no worry then. Just if you have any questions, just say so. It happens. It happens. Yeah. So here, bishop h7 is just. There are more moves that win, apparently, but bishop h7 is very, very straightforward. Yeah. So if I could give some real advice, so Marshall is not a bad choice. Marshall is not a bad choice. If I personally, I've never played a Marshall, so I always went, and still if I play e5, by the way. So I go for the classical variations. These ones. The Marshall is very forcing, and these are more these have more to do with playing a game of chess. You can look into it. It's very it's very interesting, and there are many variations. No, it was complicated. You were under pressure, basically. The point is that you were under pressure, serious pressure, but it wasn't lost until maybe, you know, the queen f6, basically. Under pressure. Re-Lopez is often your one side is under pressure. Yeah. So these are the classical variations. So no Marshall. Marshall is a good choice, by the way. Don't get me wrong at all. It's a lot of theory, though. It's very heavy. And the problem these days with Marshall theory is if you learn it really well, you know, and are capable of executing it normally, it all ends in a draw. That's not to say that, you know, I can execute it, not at all, but there is this problem. The second problem with the Marshall, I'll tell you straight away. Until GM level, yeah. No, I believe that. I do believe that. It's really not a bad choice at all, like, especially against weaker players or, you know, players on our level. Yeah. Maybe on my level it starts changing a little bit, but not that much actually, because I don't know too much theory. But what did I want to say? There is another problem with the Marshall. Take the life out of it. Yeah, and then White has, the point is that White has these end games that are like minuscule better for White. And then, you know, they play 20 more games and draw, basically. That's the point. The other problem that is, once you get to this position, a draw with Black, generally spoken, is very acceptable. The thing is, if you really are playing a stronger player and you want to play for three outcomes, the Marshall isn't the best choice, because the odds of winning with the Marshall are not high from a certain level on, when people start knowing their stuff. But until then, you can just play it. But there is another disadvantage, one that I like to notice. There's something called the anti-Marshalls. So people started avoiding the Marshall because of its, you know, its drawish nature. So then C3 is the main line, right? You go D5 and well, but there is also There are also moves like a4 or d3. I think h3 is one. Yes, anti-martial is, you know, you have to. We're getting back into you know, let's play a normal game of chess kind of stuff, right? It's also very concrete there. I analyzed it to quite some for quite some, you know, to quite some extent. But is d3? Yeah, I'm not surprised. d3. a4 was popular for a little while ago. Yeah, d3. I like d3. I like d3 in general in a reload bed. d3. Yeah, and then you have to play chess. So this is the disadvantage of the martial. There are, yeah. Every opening has advantages and disadvantages. It's comparatively easy to win against weaker players and draw against stronger. But was it here? Yeah, I didn't. I half followed it. Yeah, a4 is a normal move. Even I played it. Well, in Blitz online, but a4 has been around for ages. And then here is rook b8. There is bishop b7 and b4. b4 is very concrete. There are some. Yeah, I'm getting old, but some games between Aronian and Carlsen. b4, and I think here you go a5 immediately. Bishop b7 has the disadvantage that after a move like d3, the bishop is supposed, this is not always the case, but it's supposed to be misplaced on b7 because it looks at a pawn. But sometimes you can play d5, of course, and then you pressure. But the bishop on b7 is supposed to be slightly better on this diagonal. So, but people play this diagonal. The people play this, and then there is the third option of rook. So white threatens like ab5, ab5, rook a8, right? So the third one is simply just playing rook b8, very natural move. You know, white probably takes here. Okay, white has the a file for now, but first of all, black often takes it back in some 10 moves or something, you know. And the rook's often very useful on b8, for example, if something like c3 happens at some point. Okay, black can go d5. A move like b4 can be considered. Maybe not here, but you know, sometimes it can be considered. Yeah, the match, I didn't fully watch it, but there were some strange, some fancy re-Lopez's. Yeah, a4 is a very important move in the re-Lopez. You will see it very often. Yeah, the game that we played ourselves. This is an absolute sideline on the sideline, actually. It's just about playing normal chess. In order to refute this, you have to play very aggressively. But even here, it gives like, you know, it gives f5 equal. Like a bit of initiative. I wouldn't be two-phased, but black has some space, also some weaknesses. White has no weaknesses, but no space. Yeah, exactly. That is the point. The point is Vienna. Uh, 94. What do they have? A queen f3, right? This kind of stuff. Oh, well, that's wrong. What did they play here? They play c5 here? Bishop e7? Okay, bishop 7, d4, c5. I mean, you can play this position every now and then, you know. But first of all, I mean, white does have a little bit of initiative here, but also a weakness here. And this bishop is open. There are many lines, you know, all kinds of openings where you get this type of position, but then there is a pawn here, and this bishop is dead. And you know, to be very honest, it's not dead here at all, right? And the open F file, black castles. So let's just play a move. Right? Bishop d3, okay. Okay, black castles and okay, what are you gonna do in f7, right? Nothing. For now at least. Queen h5 going to go queen e4, yeah? I'm really not I don't really yeah, the Vienna. This is good for white, yeah. So here, what is the move here? Knight f3? You said? Okay, but I always thought that queen f3 was more challenging. Queen h5 is a move to go queen e4. In what position exactly? So we just had this one, right? Here you go, f5 is also a move. F5 really makes a lot of sense. I should briefly look at, you know, how to exactly equalize this black. Because I don't really know. Knight c6, bishop 5, knight c3, bc3, queen h5. Oh. So queen f3. Here they play knight c6. Alright. bb5. Okay, black to move. So bishop e7 or something. Okay, knight c3. bc3. And now queen h5. Oh, queen h4 check. Aha. Oh, according to the engine, this is a bit of a refutation, isn't it? Black is at least equal initiative. Yeah, f3, f5 looks very natural to me. I don't really, you know, I personally wouldn't like it, you know. I'm feeling that I'm, you know, wasting my extra wide move on some. And there was also this. Okay, this one I've never seen. And then, oh, sorry. And then queen e4. Yeah, black is completely fine. Yeah, I mean, this pawn is, you can't attack it, and it's very annoying. It blocks a lot of development. Yeah, I would really advise you not to play them. I mean, you know, every now and then in a blitz game, it's of course pretty cool, right? But like, more seriously, I would not, you know, don't make it. I would say don't make it your main opening. So you say, really, white shouldn't play bc5. I was thinking about that. Yeah. A bc3. D. This. Yeah, no, I believe that. But it looks solid to me, that's the point. You go like this, maybe c5, I'm not sure. Okay, you develop your knight, you castle, play f6 at some point. If possible. Because black's position is very compact. So that means like his pieces are all very close together, very well defended. And it's just, there are no targets really. At least for now. So... At 1800 rep, yeah, oh, don't get me wrong, if like some 2600 Grandmaster starts playing the Vienna against me, you know, a few games in a row, you know, I will surely lose most, if not all, games, but not because of the opening, you know what I mean? I will get slowly outplayed later, not because of the opening, right? That's kind of how it is. Of course, the stronger player it will be. They will and they will. Yeah, I see him playing it sometime. So what does he play? Bishop c4? Bishop c4, knight e4 probably, no? I mean... And there is this line. Yeah. Right. Now there is a whole line here. That I luckily forgot everything about. Yeah, no, many... Yeah, I mean, if Vienna is really a bit overdone. But for example, things like... You could argue that this is also not the most challenging opening ever. However, it leaves more play in the position, I would say. I would, you know... But I think e4, e5 is a good choice. I mean, essentially you have to learn two big openings here. Three. So the Ruy Lopez, the Italian Diogo Piano, and the Scottish. Those three. And actually the four knights. Four knights. Yeah, for practical chess, especially in blitz, but also in slower games, these positions are dubious apparently these days. Old main line, right? Yeah, the engine already gives +1 basically. H3 is a very weird move. I would not trust the engine here, by the way. So b4 is the bayonet attack. 91 is the Mortal Plata. There's 92. You know, those are the moves you look at. Yeah, people play it. People play it. I mean, on the highest level, especially in rapid. The King's Indian defense. I'm really not sure what the current state of affairs is like. Okay, this used to be very dangerous. They started playing in this beginning of the 90s a lot. Karpov and the likes. What's his name? Kamsky. Kramnik is most famous for beating the King's Indian, especially using this one. It's called the bayonet attack. Yeah, bayonet attack. Bayonet attack. The Queen's Indian defense, yeah. I have played more Queen's Indian defenses than King's Indian defenses. My reasoning, I'm not entirely sure if it's true. This can get pretty complicated, and some lines are very forcing. So, for example, stuff like that. How did this go? It's such a long time ago. And then there's tons and tons and tons of theory. But if you get this position as black, and you can choose between all kinds of complicated hallelujah, really dubious stuff, the Benoni, or just a very solid Queen's Indian, especially on top level. Price of a move is high on top level. A loss is essentially a loss is worth much more than a win. Essentially, if you don't win, it's almost like fine, but don't lose because that costs you a lot. And in that respect, if you can choose between a somewhat tricky opening, right, where you have to memorize a lot of stuff as well, or like the most solid opening in existence, then many, if not most people, would just simply play the most solid opening in existence, basically. D5. To learn against the Catalan, and there are some older and newer like lines that you have to learn a bit. You have to learn. It's Hikaru, for example, plays this one, no? Yeah, it's a it's a lousy line, I would say, but it's very solid, especially against your peers. I mean, go try to win it as white. Everyone fails more or less. There are some tricks, but yeah. So I think this is called the orthodox variation. And in the line with bishop g5, there is also b6, and what became popular against Topalov Anand in when was it, 2008, 94, and I think c6. And okay, it looks a bit like the black bishop on c8 is still still dead, and it could but white is but black is extremely solid, and white doesn't have many light pieces anymore to just simply go for some caveman attempt. D5, yeah, I also switched back to D5 actually myself in slow games. I mean, I haven't played slow games in 10 years now, OTB. But if I would have played, I tell you honestly, well, or in this move, or I'll tell you honestly, I think if you're just a better player, you're gonna win with the Queen's Gambit to decline. I mean, not in 20 moves. Well, sometimes you do, but you'll grind out those positions in the window. So d5 is pretty good. It never hurts to learn e5 and d5. It also really doesn't hurt to learn in Sicilian. You know what I mean. And it also really doesn't hurt to play both e4 and d4 as white. Where I'm from, they were far more dogmatic about it, but especially if you play blitz every now and then, it doesn't hurt to just try to play a king Queen's Gambit declined every now and then. Yeah, take it slowly. You can't layer e5 and c5 at the exact same time, right? It's just way too much, right? But once you get just what my advice would be, you just pick an opening here. You just learn this first. So there are 3 things you have to learn. The Ruy Lopez, the Italian. Four things. The Scottish and the Four Knights. The Four Knights is important. It's a bit new. You know, Four Knights has two versions. One is the Scottish version, and one is this one. And generally spoken, they play this these days. And there used to be this thing called the Belgrade variation that I used to play ages ago. I mean, it scores well against noobs, but objectively spoken, it's not so good. So here they play 94, and now you get back into the Scotch. This is a mainline in the Scotch. An important mainline, by the way. He's a big Belgrade fan, yeah. I thought it was supposed to be not so good anymore. I mean, you know. That said, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not really going to argue with anyone about it being good or bad or what merits to have. Because I have played this a few times in my teenage years. Against weaker players, you know. Right. Some speedrun videos, but it depends. I mean, if you play like 16 to 2400s, okay, this is not gonna matter. The Belgrade variation, right? It's more interesting to watch it play against a 28 plus, because they know what is supposed. If there is a refutation, they will know the refutation, right? That is essentially, yeah. What it's about. By the way, if you join the chess stuff, yeah, 21s, yeah, it's exactly. It's like, you know, is it because of the opening, right? Or is it because he's both a strong bullet player and a GM, right? I would go for the second one. Yeah. Let's be very honest. If a 2600 player or 2500 plays a3 on the first move, it's a bad move, but he or she is gonna win the game, you know, against 2100. That's how it is, right? Also, it's not that bad. For example, if you play e5 and then c4, now it's actually a Sicilian in reverse already. a3 is fairly okay moving, so it's not always that bad. A9. Yeah, that was my mini lecture on openings in the Buda Chess Championship. 3 times the Belgrade variation. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just playable still. I mean, maybe it's not, or maybe it's not that bad or something like that. Maybe there has been some development. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I haven't seen this in 500 years, basically. Right, to me, this is a bit, it's all a bit alien. Yeah, it never hurts. If just in casual blitz games, we play some c4 every now and then. Just casual blitz games, right? We're not talking about hardcore training for whatever. Just to see what happens, you know. Like for example, you will probably be playing e4 like 90% of your games. But every now and then, if you play d4, you play the main line. Suddenly, someone starts taking. It's kind of important to know that, okay, the main move here is knight f3. After a6 you take, okay, so c6. A takes B, C takes B. Now there is a little trick. What does white play here? I give you 20 seconds. More and more, because the English doesn't have like... it has it, but like, yeah, exactly, Queen of 3. Has like much less like super forced variations until the end. And the games are just a bit different. Yeah. So the English is... it has always been quite popular. You know this? Yeah, sure, okay. So... okay, you go knight f3. E3 is not bad, by the way, of course. How did this go again? Ah, right. There are all kinds of lines. Apparently the most dangerous one these days is e4, but I can't say I know an awful lot about it. As in, close to nothing. So, yeah. And then even this surely is fading. Not critical, but... something like this. The engine already likes black though. Okay, no one plays like this. Because with the queen on c4, it's more a target than anything else. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't know. In the beginning, it's all about making building a opening record round. So as white, you pick a main move. So generally spoken, e4 or d4, right? I would slightly advise you to go e4, but you know, if you really want to go d4, it's also fine. But e4, you learn a lot of openings, and then actually you go over the... you play e4, right, and then you go over stuff. So e5 is something you need to... let's skip c6 for c5 for now for a second. So e5 you need to choose something against. Aljechin you need to choose something against. The French you need to choose something against. Scandinavian, Arakan. Those you need to do some. And then there is e5. Now e5, of course. Okay, let's say you go knight f3. What's torch? Is that on our engine? So you're gonna need to do some work of you know, the Petrov. Knight c6. You need an answer. D6 actually also. Right, yeah, you said so. That's a good choice. It's one of the 3 main choices. There is not much wrong with the Tarrasch. There is nothing wrong with the Tarrasch, by the way. Not much. Okay, but then it goes on. Then black has 2 main lines. So knight f6 and c5. And then you slowly go, and probably knight c6 as a sideline. And maybe even bishop e7 as a sideline. And there's d4 actually. Which is also, you know, it unifies these 2 variations. This is a real line. They used to play it a lot on the highest level. A while ago though, like some 20 years ago, they used to play this a lot. In the terrace with queen g4. Are you sure? Give me a second. Okay, thanks Restream. Thanks Soup and the German dude who was here earlier for the messages. But seriously, queen g4 here? Like, queen g4 is a very common move, but it comes in this flame, the Wiener. And then, for example, knight e7. Okay, and here queen g4 is like a very normal move. And in the old days, they used to, I'll just quickly show, they used to play it like this. And even apparently now it's not like completely refuted. I played it just like this as well as black when I was 12 or something. Okay. Yeah, so apparently queen d3 is the best move, now knight e2. There was a time when they thought that king d1 was the best move. I don't know, this kind of stuff has become super concrete. So if you there is also a thing like some openings just like this one. It's a matter of turning on the engine and you know, get as much analysis as possible, basically. Chess has changed a lot in that respect. So in the terrace, you're saying queen g4. I'm not entirely sure about something like this. Looks weird. But yeah, and then you go, if you really want to play, you go slowly through all these things, you know? Go slowly through all these things, and you learn. Like, you play 92. First 5 players play knight f6. How do I search for it? Do you have a link? If you can give me a link, that would be easiest. I'll just use the link. Right? They'll all play this, and then suddenly some dude comes, right, and he goes like c5. And, oh. That's another main line, a big main line. And then here, actually, they can both take with the e pawn and with the queen, by the way. And yeah, that's how you. And that's how you build a repertoire, so slowly but steadily. It's a lot of work, but if you want to become IM, it's worth it. If you have solid openings, you're really halfway already. If you get tactically so much strong and start playing OTB, you know. I'm not talking about CM or FM, you know. I'm talking about IM. CM is nonsense. If you're serious about it, you'll get there anyway. FM, I would personally consider the same, really, to be very honest with you. But IM, to me, is already a bit different. It's quite a bit different. Okay, yeah, cool. Just please send me the link. It's easier. I'm very. If it was Lichess, you know, I'm more familiar with Lichess. I'm very not so familiar with chess.com. Chess.com, so it's. No, it's not exactly. All right, 1 second. Botox auto deleted. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Can you maybe do some? Can you try to send it? Yeah, just send it in chat circle messages. I think I will. Yeah. All right, Super Sailor 72 has sent me a message. Now let's see how to see that message. One moment. Messages. Okay. All right, there you go. All right, let's have a quick look. So, all right, so E4 is a book move, yeah. Really, Mr. Coach, yeah. All right, so E64. Okay, bishop D3, C5, C3. This is all mainline. Eh? So what's your score? 62-76 win rate. Here, Queen G4. It's a good move. I didn't know. Okay, takes G6. Oh, but it's fine. Is it any good? What is the best move here? Oh, it is H5 the night before. Yeah, it's not too surprising. Because, for example, if you look at this. Yeah, H5 G5 is. It happens, you know, like. It's maybe a bit of experience or something. This is a tricky part. If you know, can't take a pawn here, you know, no attack incoming. You know. So knight b4 or g5. There are other lines in the French where this happens. Similar stuff. There is this one. So e4, e6, d4, d5, d5. So the advanced French, and here there is a sideline bishop e7. Okay, and here queen g4 is also a move. One second, Soup. Give me like 20 seconds. I need to take care of some very annoying business for a little while. Just 1 second. I'll be back very soon. Okay, I'm back. So here is another one with with queen g4. I think also Morozevich played this, used to play this. And you can see the black moves are all a bit awkward. Bishop f8 is a bit, yeah, right? king f8 seems most natural, but then white has an advantage. Not an advantage, like initiative. And g6 also a move you kind of don't want to make unless it's good. In the French is of the dark squares. So in the difference with your line, generally spoken, is really... one moment. So it was where was the queen g4 move? On knight c6, right? And here queen g4. Yeah, so for example, let's say you play this, and here you choose like the communal move g5, right? But g5 actually doesn't weaken the dark squares. There is a very big difference here. The knight on d7 is a bit misplaced, but you're not actually weakening a lot. Yeah, let's look at the game briefly. Okay, so take, g6. So this type of move you kind of don't want to make in the French. You don't want to play g6. Almost as a rule of thumb. You know. You also don't really want to put that like that. Unless it's cool. Okay, so now black looks active here, but actually white is better. White does have some initiative here now. It's not like it's gonna checkmate in 5 moves, but there is an initiative. And this queen is actually kind of misplaced, I would say. Even if it takes a free pawn. Black's weaknesses here are very, very serious. If this pawn was on g7 and black would take the pawn on b2, it's far more serious. But the pawn's on g6, you know, things will happen. Oh, a little tricky. Okay, now, but here black's much better. After the exchange operation. 95 is a common trick, by the way, in the French. So in this position, you probably had to move something. Okay, the engine gives h3, but queen f4 or bishop e2. You wonder if a3 is really a bad move, by the way. But you still got knight to e5. And that makes sense. Okay, so here probably really follow the engine recommendation for 1 second. Yeah, and when you take some b2, white sacrifices a pawn, but even the shitty stockfish gives +1 already. White has a big initiative. Black's development is not good, and his move g6 makes things worse. And also this queen is just misplaced for me. I mean, it's for a pawn, but this is not a pawn you want to have. So... okay, but now it's different. Pieces have exchanged, white's attack is gone, and black's much better. With the bishop pair, you put one here or here, and the other one has a great square on b5 incoming, or a6. And yeah, and that's just much better. Not sure if it's really necessary to take them. Oh, some weird stuff happened. But black has the c file. And this should be winning. They're all on dark squares. Or is there a fortress? Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Yeah, and black resigned. Yeah, so the problem essentially was immediately after the opening. So white's better here. Black completely misplayed it actually. But there was this trick, 95. And then black's immediately better. Which is a pity though. A horizontal pin. Which is a pity. But it happens. But generally up to here you played well, I think. Afterwards it was just kind of a lost cause for you. I mean, yeah. Maybe in bullet you can trick someone, right? But yeah. So yeah. How they used to play it's all a long time ago. Like I've never played this. So c3, c5, f4, and then knight c6, and then they would go. They would put them like this, I think. Yeah, f6. But this is the kind of stuff you really have to, really have to look up. Chess base and lead chess are pretty good for that, basically. All right. Lots of chess. I thought I played a few blitz games, but not too bad. A bit more chess. Yeah, you're gonna play some rapid games. I'm probably gonna end the stream. I'm not sure about that, but more chess never been. No, I woke up. I was a bit dehydrated. I thought I'll drink some water and play a few games. And yeah, I might go and sleep a little bit more and then start the day basically. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. I hope you had a good time. Anyone else who might have been lurking on YouTube or Kick or wherever you are. Thanks for dropping by. I'll be back later with some gaming. Maybe some chess, but probably gaming. We're gonna finish Ocarina of Time. So that's what we're gonna do. But before that, we're gonna host a channel. Let's see if there's someone. You'll be asleep, yeah. Okay. Okay. Good luck with your games, Soup. I'll find someone to host. To host. We could host the chess bros. Kind of funny. I don't know. All right, well, why not? Just host someone.